Hello and welcome to grammar class. Today's lesson is the bare infinitive. But first off, what is an infinitive? Well, in English grammar, the term infinitive means the word to plus the base form of the verb. In other words, an infinitive is formed as to plus the first form of the verb. So an infinitive is also known as the to verb. The infinitive is called a non-finite verb, which means it's not affected by the number or person of the subject in a sentence. Although an infinitive is made from a verb and conveys the idea of an action, it acts as a noun or an adjective or an adverb in a sentence. In the first example, to play is an infinitive which is the object of the verb want, hence it acts as a noun here. In the second example, the infinitive to eat modifies the noun food, so it's acting as an adjective here. But in the last example, the infinitive to meet does the work of an adverb by modifying the verb came. So we understand that an infinitive consists of the word to and the first form of the verb and performs multiple grammatical functions in sentences. However, in certain cases, the word to is not used before the base form of a verb in an infinitive. Such an infinitive is known as the bare infinitive. In fact, the word bare means basic and without any addition. So a bare infinitive is so called because it does not have the additional to before it. For example, in the sentence, he makes me laugh, laugh is the bare infinitive. It's the base form of the verb without the word to before it. In the sentence, let me go home, go is also a bare infinitive in the base form of the verb without the word to before it. Both laugh and go are non-finite verbs because they have come after their respective objects me in the sentences. So there are two forms of the infinitive, the to infinitive and the bare infinitive. The to infinitive consists of the word to and the first form of the verb, while the bare infinitive does not have the word to before the first form of the verb. Hence, the bare infinitive is also known as the infinitive without to. But do remember that a bare infinitive is a non-finite verb. So it usually comes after a helping or auxiliary verb or after the direct object of the finite verb in a sentence. For example, in the sentence, it may rain now, the bare infinitive rain has come after the auxiliary verb may. But in the next example, he saw you steal his money, the bare infinitive steal has come after you, which is the direct object of the finite verb saw in the sentence. Well, now that we know the meaning of the term bare infinitive in English grammar, let's learn where to use the bare infinitive or the infinitive without to. First, the bare infinitive is used after auxiliary verbs such as can, may, could, should, will, would, need, dare, do, did, etc. For example, in the sentence, we should help the poor, the bare infinitive help has come after the modal verb should. Likewise, in the remaining examples, the bare infinitives play, worry and speak have come after their respective auxiliary verbs will, need and must. After all these auxiliary or helping verbs, the to verb or the to infinitive cannot be used. The bare infinitive also comes after the direct object of a select few action or causative verbs such as let, bid, make, help, etc. For example, in the sentence, let him speak, the bare infinitive speak has come after him, which is the direct object of the verb let. Similarly, in the sentence, who made you cry, you is the direct object of the causative verb made. So the bare infinitive cry comes after it. In the next example, the bare infinitive go away follows him, which is the direct object of bed. And in the last example, the noun phrase the blind man is the direct object of the verb helped. So the bare infinitive cross has come after it. So after the direct object of these specific verbs, we use the bare infinitive. The bare infinitive or the infinitive without to also comes after the direct object of some sense verbs like see, hear, watch, feel, know, please, etc., but only in the active voice, but not in the passive voice constructions. Now understand this usage carefully. In the sentence, I saw her go home, go is a bare infinitive. Here the bare infinitive go has come after her, which is the direct object of the sense verb saw. We cannot use a to infinitive here. It will be incorrect to say I saw her to go home. Similarly, in the next example, crawl is the bare infinitive coming after the insect, which is the direct object of the sense verb felt. In the third example, the bare infinitive sing follows him, which is the direct object of the sense verb heard. In the last example, after the direct object of the sense verb know, the bare infinitive help has come. However, like I said earlier, in passive voice constructions, the bare infinitive is not used after these sense verbs. In passive voice sentences, the direct object becomes the subject and the to infinitive is used directly after these sense verbs. For example, in the sentence, she was seen to go home by me, the to infinitive to go is used after the sense verb in passive voice was seen. In the following passive constructions also, the sense verbs was felt, was heard and is known are followed by their respective to infinitives. Well, then another important use of the bare infinitive is after certain phrases such as had better, had rather, would rather than, sooner than, nothing but, everything but, etc. For example, you had better consult a doctor immediately. In this sentence, the bare infinitive consult is used after the phrase had better. This sentence simply means you should consult a doctor immediately. In the next example, die and beg are the two bare infinitives used after rather and than respectively. The phrase rather than expresses a preference or choice. In the following sentences, after the phrases nothing but and everything but, the bare infinitives gossip and complete have been used respectively. In the last example, after the phrase had rather, the bare infinitive study has come, and after than, the bare infinitive play has been used. So don't use the to infinitive after these phrases. Last but not the least, the bare infinitive is also used after the question word why to form elliptical questions. An elliptical question is one in which the auxiliary verb and the subject of the sentence are left out or understood. Why travel by public transport when you have a car? In this sentence, the bare infinitive travel follows the question word why. This sentence actually means why should you travel by public transport when you have a car? Why not visit Switzerland this year? Why tender cash when we can pay online? In these two elliptical questions, visit and tender are the two bare infinitives. So that's the end of today's class. Hopefully you liked the video. Please do subscribe to our channel for more grammar videos. Thank you so much.